rarely feels like ignorance from the inside. It feels like certainty. It speaks with confidence, repeats itself, and mistakes familiarity for truth.
When I watch it harden, I see how easily it begins to resemble stupidity, not as an insult, but as a condition. The moment when a person refuses to learn, to listen, to allow their view of the world to be disturbed by another human's presence. When hatred grows from this place, it is never strong. It is defensive. It rises from fear so deep it cannot tolerate differences without imagining danger. I have seen how quickly a mind must narrow in order to sustain it. How perception must close for prejudice to survive. Complexity becomes threatening. Curiosity is treated as betrayal. People are reduced to symbols so they can be dismissed without being known. What strikes me most is how much fear is required to maintain this posture. Prejudice is not confidence. It is a confession. It reveals how fragile one must feel to protect themselves from an encounter. I have watched people cling to it as if sameness were safety, as if control could substitute for understanding. Their world shrinks, and then they defend that shrinking as virtue. I no longer believe stupidity is a lack of intelligence. I see it as an abdication of responsibility. It is choosing comfort over understanding, loyalty over truth, noise over listening. It is stopping thought precisely when thought becomes necessary, when ignorance is rewarded, when fear is excused, when hatred is framed as identity. Cruelty begins to feel ordinary. And yet, beneath all of this, I said something else. The quiet knowing that the story being told isn't complete. Hatred works so hard because it is afraid of being exposed to reality. It knows that encounter dissolves illusion, that listening weakens the structures built on fear. Understanding is dangerous to what cannot survive the truth. To refuse hatred, I have learned, is not merely to take a moral position. It is an act of courage. It requires me to face uncertainty without reaching for blame, to admit that what I do not know, and to remain open when fear demands closure. In this way, ignorance reveals itself not as innocence, but as fear, unwilling to be transformed. I am left with a choice I must make again and again, to harden or to widen, to cling or to learn, to retreat into a small safety of prejudice, or to risk the larger truth that another human being does not diminish me, but asks me to grow.